Hello, Fightful Faithful. Welcome to Tuesday. Gosh, Tuesdays. How chaotic, right? Am I right?
The chaos only builds, Alex, because it's the NXT post show for February 10th. It's the closest thing we have to Valentine's Day. So
It
I'm
is.
wearing
It
I'm
is.
wearing
It's good.
Valentine's Day sweater hearts for all
Okay.
y'all. Because
Good.
we're spreading the love today. So get in your super chats, get in your humper chats. My nails are done.
Yeah.
We talked about it last night, but they're also for the
Yeah.
public, and I want them to
Mhm.
know that
That's
I have
good.
cute little cherries on my nails.
You do.
I do.
I just noticed that you changed the pattern of them from hand to hand. It's pinky and pointer on one hand, and pointer and ring finger on the other one, and that would drive me insane.
That's why I did it. For
Okay,
the
good.
chaos.
Mm-hmm.
For the chaos. I know how much of a fashionista you are, Alex.
I am the most.
So get in your super. I feel like Valentine's Day puns, right? Since this is the
It's gotta be.
It's
Gotta be. Yeah, Valentine's Day puns, romance puns.
Love
If you
puns.
want it, yeah, love puns. If you want to do romantic movie puns, romance novelist puns,
Little rom-com action.
sure,
There you go.
sure,
All
yeah, do
things
those.
love. So get in
Yeah.
your super chats, get in your humper chat, subscribe to FightfulSelect.com.
Mm-hmm.
There was an interview with the Hardys and Mr. Jonathan Rossap that I think went.
Yeah.
Let's find out together.
That-
Let's log on to Fightful Select together. There's just so much happening behind the paywall that I don't know, but we did have a Samoa Joe update regarding his injury as well. I would love to be able to plug our stuff. There we go. Wrestling code. For those of you, as Alex, you know, I'm famously uninvolved in video game world, except for one video game, and that's Red Dead Redemption, and I didn't play it. I watched you play it.
No.
But the kids are very up in arms about this wrestling code situation. So it looked like abandoned the trademark for wrestling code, and everyone said, oh no, this incredible game with so much potential appears to be shutting down. But FightfulSelect.com has a status update for you that's a little more optimistic. It sounds like it's still in development. It's just a very slow, long process.
All right.
So there's that. But plenty going on. Our Raw review from yesterday is up, where we talked about what Gen Z versus the typo speak on a t-shirt. There's so much on FightfulSelect.com. But injury updates on Chelsea Green, Braun Breaker, and Dominic Mysterio as well. And Vegas shutting down the tourism, or in the name of tourism, shutting down watch-alongs, trying to get you to spend that WrestleMania money. So if you're in Vegas and you were hoping to go to a bar or venue for a watch-along, they're cracking down on those. So you
have to spend $10,000 to go see it in person.
You gotta drop $10K. Or I suppose you could just watch it by yourself, which is not the most ideal way to, I don't think, do anything in Vegas, much less watch wrestling. But hey, there's a lot of independent shows out there you can check out. I would recommend that as well. But yeah, lots happening on the old Fightful Select, Alex.
So like these bars, I'm assuming mostly bars, that would not be allowed to show WrestleMania. They have the ESPN Plus app because they're in the States, they're in Las Vegas, and they don't use a VPN. Silly bars.
Which is
but they can show like other things on ESPN, basketball, football, baseball if it's in season. They can show those things in their bar using the ESPN Plus app, but can't show WrestleMania. And my question is, okay, how you know? Like using the Andrade, like, I mean, I'm just saying, how you know that they're showing it? And are you putting a spy in every bar on the Vegas Strip? because that's insane.
My guess is it's more of a crackdown of like the inflatables with the like there's a pool party that everyone can sit around like at certain hotels and stuff like that do the giant like watch alongs that way. There is, I know this much, and it's not a lot, and I'm not a lawyer, so don't go run to the bank with this, but there's a thing of like if it's X or more people being shown publicly, you have to apply for a different type of license, and if you do that, they're just denying those applications, I guess. And I think because it's the ESPN premium unleaded tier or whatever, maybe the rules are a little bit different. Now, if you just were a bar that showed it and didn't apply for that, I don't know what happens. Probably a very, 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 very hefty fee if they find out. But how they find out, I don't know.
You know what would be so weird is if WWE realized their product stinks right now and they lowered the ticket prices so more people would buy tickets. And then once they're sold out, they could, spread goodwill amongst their fans who don't have several $100s to spend even after the prices are lowered. And then they could go and watch their product that they want to consume while they're on vacation in Vegas. But they're not allowed to do that because TKO. I don't know.
So my thing with it is I don't think people are making the choice between do I spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to attend WrestleMania or do I watch along at a bar? Like, I don't think that audience is eating into their live attendance. I think their attendance is down because they ran the same place twice. Well, and true. Tourism is down across the board right now. And the product has not been very strong for the past year. And now John Cena's not involved. So I think it's more that, but like, it always makes me laugh when there's stuff like that of like, oh, well, I was going to pay thousands of dollars to attend this live, or I could watch a lot. Like, that's not the audience, man. You're not being cut into by a live audience. Cause if you're going to WrestleMania, you've committed to paying a certain price. So that seems rather silly. And Alex, silly is a good theme for
it is
Sour Grass.
It's a good theme for tonight. It's a good theme for all the things. Another theme for this episode of our NXT review and a lot of episodes going forward, I'm sure, is NXT is in bad shape. It's dire. And this is what happens when you take all the top stars in the men's division, and the ones that you leave behind, you don't know what to do with. A few months after taking all the top stars in the women's division, it's bad. It's just it's in a really bad place right now, and I think it's technically possible to pull this program out of a tailspin. And it doesn't nosedive into a mountain, killing everyone on board. If the pilot was not one Shawn Michael Hickenbottom, because I just don't feel like he's got a good handle on what to do with the program now that mostly Oba and Javon have gone, because the men's division is yikes, and the women's division is stagnant because they can't seem to figure out when to do stuff that matters with those ladies. And we'll talk about it. It's not looking good.
I think my bigger that is a concern, and it definitely shows up, and it makes them look even more, I'm gonna say silly again. I'm sorry for the strong language. It makes them look even more silly for letting like Wesley and Duke Hansen go, and like people that they weren't gonna like. Well, there's no place for them on the main roster. It's like, well, there's places for other people on the main roster, and now you have nobody left just to be reliable workhorses there. I think, obviously, as a Duke Hansen stan, if you can't figure out what to do with an attractive 6'5" badass who's comedic and charismatic and can do sincere promos and all those things. That's a you problem. But if you're not going to use them for that purpose, you might as well keep them under contract, because then you end up in situations like this. Now, my other concern is there are people that are also still around that should probably get called up soon. Like Joe Hendry's not a spring chicken, as we've said about other wrestlers. They're perhaps more of a summer or an autumn. Ricky Saints is not like in developmental. That guy is as ready of a star as there is for a main roster.
No, they don't know what they're doing with him though, you know.
And Ethan Page, Ethan Page is the kind of wrestler, in my opinion, you can plug into pretty much any environment, and they're going to do great if you give him consistent reps. So he's main roster ready. I don't think like using him around NXT is a bad idea at all. No. But like eventually these people have to get called up. And Alex, what happens when those three names that I just mentioned get called up? Because
I mean, if you were not Hickenbottoming, you would figure out a way for them to put over top new talents on the way out. And by them putting over those talents, it would make them seem more legitimate. And you could move on with stuff, because I think they have the talent. They just don't know what they're doing with anybody correctly. They have a whole bunch of people you can fit into like little what do you call them? Archetypes. You know, like you have archetypes that can be filled by a bunch of the people on your current roster, and you're just not doing it. Like there's a lot. Like you could easily build at least a North American division around a lot of the talent you've got signed right now. That, you know, so if Ethan Page isn't losing until he loses to Miles Bourne. That's the story that they're telling, and they seem to be telling that story at a glacial pace. So like, you know, like that's a problem. You know what I mean? Like you could easily figure out a way for him to lose. Maybe he loses to him at Stand and Deliver. There is no Vengeance Day. It doesn't exist. They're not doing it. They're doing Roadblock at the end of March, and then they're doing Stand and Deliver when Stand and Deliver is. But there is no Vengeance Day, because that would be this weekend, and there isn't one. So they might do something else and call it something else. But at this point, you could easily just have him lose to Miles Bourne at Stand and Deliver, and then go up to the main roster. And the problem they have is they like a lot of the guys on the main roster in the roles that they're in, and you can't just call up people indefinitely without moving the current talent around up there to make room for the guys that are being called. I'm not saying fire people. I'm saying just, you know, we're not going to use you anymore because we got a different one of you and he's better at it. I'm looking at you, The Miz. So like you bring up Ethan Page and you make him a much better version of The Miz, i.e. not a complete and total chicken shit, and also better in every way in the ring. You have him do some stuff with Carmelo Hayes after Carmelo Hayes beats the hell out of The Miz, and then Miz could just write him a script for the Marine 8 or whatever it is, and he can go and film that. He can film a whole trilogy, Marine 8, 9, and 10, back to back to back, like they did the Lord of the Rings films. He can go and do that for a damn year. It'll be a lot of fun. But like you have to be able to move these guys around when you call up other guys in their place. The same thing is like you have archetypes in NXT that were filled by people who got recently called up. You have to like replace those people with new recruits. They have those guys. They just seem to be unwilling to really put them into those roles yet. Maybe they will eventually, but there's a whole bunch of people that they're using poorly. Saquon Sugars should be being used as a top of the card heel, and he's the secondary tag team champion.
Speaking of using people poorly, hi Sean.
What'd you say? What'd you just say?
Nothing. How are you?
I'm lovely.
Your hair has gone wild.
It's been a day. It's been a day. I've been getting punched in the face as recreationally again, not like
okay.
Didn't get assaulted or anything.
Important clarification.
Right.
An important clarification. I do still occasionally partake in the punching of the face and vice versa. A lot more me getting punched in the face these days than anything. I mean, listen, wrestling's wild today. Alex, do you remember Danny Almonte?
I do remember Danny.
Yeah, Tate does. Tate does.
My ears immediately perked up at a Danny Almonte reference.
A Danny Almonte reference in 2026. That's how people are acting, like with this Hobbs thing. Like, listen, guys, I'm gonna give you guys a big secret. WWE don't give a fuck how old this man is. Like, what do you think that he got hired there and didn't have to like give his social security number? It just highlights to me that anybody that is complaining has never filled out a job application or gotten a job or anything like that.
You raise a good point, Mr.
I mean, I have a lot of social security numbers, and they're not even of my employees, just people that
sure, of course,
that trust me. You know,
yeah, fools.
Also, Sean, like, who's your favorite fighter? You know what? This is topical. John Jones was my favorite fighter. Abysmal human being. Anderson Silva.
Binghamton, New York.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's funny.
He was like the pride there, and then all the things came out about him, and then it was like.
So I'll tell you a story. Like John Jones was like, I was just fucking blown away. Pardon my language, by this guy, and I was so deep into MMA coverage then. I remember like he fought like an insane amount of times in 6 months to start his career, to the point to where I was like, how many John Joneses are there here? Like, how the same guy can't be fighting 5 times in a month. And he made it to the UFC very quick. He was doing like German suplexes and overhook suplexes, things that people shouldn't have been able to do to veterans of the UFC. And I had a friend who lived in New York named Wren Sinclair, the most New York name ever. But he called me one day and he's like, I see you putting over John Jones a lot. He's a dick. And I was like, huh? No way. Like the guy that said, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that fight. Come to the after party. I'm giving away free K-Swiss shoes. That guy, the Philippians, whatever tattoo with the believe in Christ, him? No way. And he's like, no, man, he said some out-of-pocket stuff to me. And I was like, no, surely not. And now I look back on that, having covered an insane number of controversies. And I'm like, oh. So that's the long answer to his question. The short answer to my question, both literally and figuratively, is Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, because he has no scandals. He is a great human being. He has done things that I have never seen. And here's the funniest part. Vince McMahon always wanted a Mighty Mouse character so badly. Like he ached for it. Never recruited the guy named Mighty Mouse ever from the UFC. Instead, tried to recruit and got rejected by the guy that Mighty Mouse had an actual feud with in the UFC, Henry Cejudo, and he passed on it. But that's where we are now. But yeah, people are acting like Hobbs is Danny Almonte. Listen, guys, I wasn't out there trying to dox the man's age or anything, but a number of weeks ago, there were people like, oh, he's 33, 34. And I'm like, fellas, he did an interview with Chris Van Vliet like 5 years ago, of which he said he had a 16-year-old son then. I know sometimes that happens in this world, but I don't think that Hobbs is out there impregnating women at age 13. I don't think that was what he was doing.
I would also just say, like, Google is wrong about ages a lot. So if you're like, yeah, but Google said all the time, especially there is a vested interest in keeping that information quiet publicly when you're a pro wrestler. So yes, like, there's a lot of people that are fine with those lies being out there. So like, if you Google someone, sometimes that's really their age, sometimes it's not, is what I would say.
I used to do a thing called Wikipedia Fact Check, and it was based on, it was like there was this metal magazine, YouTube, that would do them as well. And I'll put it like this. There was never any single one of them that was always right. here's an example. It said EC3 was 246. That's how much he weighed. He goes, 246? I've never been above 225 in my life. And he's like, I hated when like Jeremy Borash would announce me as that. He's like, dude, I'm jacked. Just say I'm 225. If people can't get over that, whatever. After that interview, somebody went and changed his weight to 252.
There you go. Perfect.
Go figure. But the long and short of it is, I saw people say, oh, well, he's lying about his age. Where'd he lie about his age? He didn't lie about his age anywhere. Not that I've ever seen. There's a lot of people that assume a lot of things about my life or my personal life, and I just don't correct them because it ain't their fucking business. So
Their business.
Me and Simon Miller even pointed out that the source on Wikipedia of Hobbs' the age that was on there has both of ours wrong. I hate to tell you guys this. I'm older than 31.
Now, why would you tell people that?
Like, Pro Fight DB has me at 31. Cage Match has an incorrect birth date as well. There was a number of interviews I did. I did an interview like 3 or 4 years ago, and they put on there, Sean Ross Sapp, 26. And I said, all right, go ahead if you want to. Jimmy plucked me. Jimmy, I was the Kevin Garnett of Fightful is what I was.
Yeah. Right out of your high school newspaper. That was
Exactly.
He got you.
Of which my journalism teacher said, please stop writing. She wrote that on a paper one time. Please stop writing.
The chat is fun and says that I'm 21. My kayfabe age around here is 24, but I am actually very close to yeah, there you go. I'm very close to Danny Almonte's actual age now. So there you go.
But when like somebody was talking to me about the Hobbs age thing, and I pulled up the only beneficial screenshot of Benchwarmers ever, the I am 12 birth certificate. Like I rewatched that movie recently and it was abysmal. I'll put it like this. It was so bad I would never ask you all to watch it.
Whoa. That's bad.
That's bad.
That is bad.
That's bad.
Like there's not even a redeeming result of you guys reviewing said movie.
No.
You'd be surprised. We've watched some really bad ones and turned them into some gems of reviews, but I'm not advocating that we do it, just to be super clear.
We need to do like a Kid Rock version of the Fightful podcast where I bring my mic up here and down here and the audio levels stay the same. I saw the thing where he's like, I didn't lip sync. And I was like, come on now.
I have some fun off-air stories I can tell you about Kid Rock and sound engineers. I know that worked with
I already don't like this guy anymore. Listen, Devil Without a Cause, I sincerely enjoyed the album. And everything that preceded it and followed it was just, it broke my heart. It really did. It really did. He found the perfect mix of white trash and being from Detroit in that one album, and it was very contained. And then he was in Joe Dirt, and I said, damn it, if anybody belongs in that movie, it's Kid Rock. And he took it a little much to heart. Now, as a Kentuckian, I'm just here to talk shit. I take a little offense when somebody who can, from their back porch with the right trajectory, piss into Canada, claims that they are like some big Southerner.
Sure.
I don't get it.
That's very fair.
I don't get it. Anywho, I've said my piece. I have derailed your show. Burn Notice review wins, somebody says.
Oh my gosh. My cousin started this of all people, and it's following us. And
it's a good like turn your brain off while you work and do some articles show. Like sure. It's fine for that.
Review make for what Alex and I do, but also like his whole thing was the Big Show was on it. This is my cousin Michael, not even here, and a menace in the chat for what he started. No, No.
Turned off my mic. I completely detached it from my entire rig. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Hi, Sean. He's going flat. Freaking Rock says. Will
so funny
Hobbs,
to me.
senior citizen.
I mean, it's so funny to me that that they made a big deal out of it, as though he was being recruited. Like, is he like like the football team that drafts a quarterback and they think he's 22, but he's actually 25, and so if they knew that, he would have dropped to like the seventh round or whatever. This is not what this is. He's 41. That's fine. They're not going to use him properly anyway. Who cares how old he is? You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
I can understand as far as going into, that's a valuable amount of time out of someone's quote unquote prime that
sure
isn't there. To go beyond that is insane to me. To like introduce any vitriol into it is so bizarre. There was discussions earlier in our Fightful Slack channel, because we were all making sure that things were clear and organized and accurate, of like, no, at no point did Dave Meltzer say Will Hobbs lied about his age. Like, just people making stuff up. No, Dave Meltzer accurately said what his age was.
Right.
And that was about it. Like, just absolutely bonkers. The things that people choose to be invested in for a 24 to 48 hour period and then move on.
This is the accurate headline. Guy not on TV turns out to be 21, 41. That's it. That's
where was he on SmackDown is the Royce Keys question.
Yeah, that's it. That's very silly. Okay. It's also silly. Joe Hendry is your champion, and he comes out to say, like, wow, I never thought I would do it. But you all believed in me, and since we all believe in me, then we're gonna do wonderful things. And I was just like, all right, send out Ricky Saints so we can get this over with. And they're like, no, you have to wait for us to tell our story poorly. And they sent out the friggin' Vanity Project, and I'm like, I don't want to watch the Vanity Project versus Joe Hendry. What are we doing? We had, like, you had in your midst, and I know it's Hunter's fault. I understand, but you had in your midst an Obafemi losing the title to Javon Evans story at Stand and Deliver, and he had to go up so that he could squash guys and do vignettes and just debate whether or not he's going to sign with Raw or SmackDown. And Javon Evans has to tag with Chad Gable in a lucha mask. Those guys are spoken for. I get it, but Plan B can't be this. It can't be this. Like, at least not for now. Like, the Jackson Drake, listen, by all accounts, very talented, super young, gonna get even better. I would say fill out a little more. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. can get away with this physique because he's mostly just doing neck cranks with his feet and bending people into pretzels. If you're going to be doing the stuff that you're doing, adding about 20 pounds of muscle to your frame would go a long way. So he seems fine. Listen, Ricky Vapes, the guy with the hair, they're very talented tag wrestlers, but like, I don't care about them is the thing. I don't care about them. You have to make me care about them at a level below challenging for the NXT championship. You have to do all that work with them at a lower level before you get to that level, and they're just not willing to do that work. They're not willing to take the time to do that. They are willing to take the time to drag out this Zaria and Sol Ruca story to the ends of the friggin' earth. They're still gonna drag that out forever. But this, they just decided, like, oh, this guy, he's a main eventer on NXT now. The Evolve champion is a main eventer on NXT now, and I'm like, I would like more time with him. I would like more time with him. to determine if that is good via storytelling, as opposed to you saying, "Hey, this guy main eventer now." And I'm like, is he? And he this is one of those things where, like, this is the kind of guy that I feel like they should bring along slowly in the mid-card heel route, as opposed to currently still the Evolve champion and also facing Joe Hendry, of all people, for the NXT World Championship. Like, at the same time, you're just not you're not spreading the wealth enough among all the people that you have in your employ. And he just came out and says, "I want a title. We did attack you. And we do it again," or some stuff, because you don't belong here. I mean, I guess you do. This guy does, but Joe Hendry doesn't. And then they attack him some more, and they want to fight him, and blah blah blah. And I just feel like there are other people. There weren't. Look at the ladder match from last week. There apparently aren't other people, but there should be other people. Like, there should be other people. You have other people in your employ who I feel like don't need to be leapfrogged by dudes fresh out of Evolve, and apparently they disagree with me. Hickenbottom disagrees.
Tim McFowell saying that he will not stand for twink blasphemy in regards to.
Listen, I'm not allowed to call him that, but it does seem accurate. That's all I'm going to say.
Tim McFowell is allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I think. Well, one, I was like, well, it should be Johnny Gargano, because they just said he's going to come back to NXT, so just do that right now. But, like, I think the Vanity Project are good. I think in ring they're great, and I think they're a good presence on the show. When I see things like how much screen time they had tonight from not just this angle and match, like from the greater
other angles, the whole bunch of angles.
All of them, yeah. It kind of, when you sit back and see it, like, them taking up that much oxygen on this show so soon, I think is the thing that we're like, when we say like this is indicative of the shape that NXT is in, that's really tough. It's like, I think this Ethan Page title run has been great, and also I think he needs to drop the title if he's going to be sticking around NXT, because he needs to be in the top of the card picture, not the mid card picture. He's their heaviest hitter outside of Ricky Saints. They are going to test the waters on how a Joe Hendry champion in WWE's presentation feels. I don't know if we're off to a great start. I don't think we're off to a bad start. Like, his promo was fine. It's just like, it's really tough when he had such a specific thing that he does. So when your answer to we need to make him more serious and viable is to make him generic, that seems so against the grain of everything that made him popular. I was kind of glad that we didn't get like him with a guitar out there again tonight. Like, I like when my champions feel like champions. I think that's good. But there's also, maybe because he doesn't really have anything to sink his teeth into until the Ricky Saints thing happens, which we'll talk about. But like, some of these promos just feel so generic to me, and I'm constantly, and part of it's my fault. I watch a lot of wrestling doing this job and seeking out other wrestling that I like. Nothing feels like a fight, and no first title defense ever realistically does either. But like, I feel like he didn't even say like, I'm the Evolve champion. I'm gonna show this guitar playing hack up, and I'm going to show you that like the level that's quote unquote below you actually is like, there's just no meat on the bone with any of this stuff, where I'm like, there are these opportunities like it doesn't feel like he's a champion. It feels like he's a guy buying for time on Evolve. And so for Joe Hendry, that doesn't give him a lot to work with on the other side of stuff. Like, I don't feel like we gotta like, yeah, where developmental is developmental, I'll show you kind of attitude, like from Jackson Drake. So it's just very everything in NXT is very watery right now because nothing feels established. Like I don't know who the top of the card is outside of 2 guys, and that's bad.
Yeah.
And because I don't know the delineation between the bottom and the middle of the card either, that's really bad because I only know there's Ethan Page and Miles Bourne and then a bunch of other guys that if you told me they're getting a North American title shot, I'd be like, sure. If you told me they were doing title adjacent work, I'd be like, fine. If you told me they're getting a world title shot with the way things operate, I wouldn't be surprised by that either. And that kind of muddiness isn't good, even in chaotic environments, like how Shawn Michaels likes his NXT. It's a bad way to raise your roster, I think. And again, some of this just ain't the guy's fault. Like they've done such a bad job elevating youth on the main roster that when they came calling for the youth of NXT, they're now in a situation where the mainstays of NXT are also due to get called up and they got nothing. So like I'm worried about right now. I'm also worried about what the next 6 months bring because I can't imagine them being like Ricky Saints is in it for the long haul at NXT. That guy has next Mr. Money in the Bank written all over him with this character. So it's when you see segments like what opened the show, and like it's just such a microcosm of what the rest of the roster looks like, right? So it's tricky, and some of it's not even in NXT's control.
Mm-hmm. I had forgotten to talk about maybe the best use of the say his name and he appears bull crap that they do backstage, not where he's inside a refrigerator or under a NASCAR helmet. It was the thing, was it last week or the week before, where they're all the douchebags are standing backstage and they've got like they're hanging out with girls, and one of them's standing next to Ricky Vapes, and he's got his arm around her waist, and the camera pans over and is filming other things, and then somebody says Joe Hendry, and they pan back over and Joe Hendry's standing where the girl was, and Ricky looks over, does a double take, and he's just completely freaked out, like he's in the crying game or something. Like, what? Was Joe Hendry this girl all along? Oh no, I have so many things to evaluate about myself. They actually mentioned in this promo that that's why they took him out, was because he teleported into the body of Ricky Smokes' girlfriend.
Pretty good.
That's hilarious. That's dumb. It's hilarious and dumb. Also dumb. Giving control of anything to Robert Stone. That man is sweating like a proverbial whore in church the entire night. Like, my phone. Oh, geez, I gotta text somebody, but I don't know who. And Keanu Carver comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, man, why does Jackson Drake get a title shot? I should be getting that title shot." And Keanu, and he's like, Jackson Drake did confront Joe Hendry first, and Joe wants revenge for them taking him out, a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I got to make the match. I mean, Sean wants chaos, and by gum, I'm gonna give it to him. And Keanu Carver's like, "Chaos, huh? Say less." And he leaves, and then Robert's like, "Oh no, wait!" But he waits too long to do the "oh no, wait."
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to move a step before he reaches out and grabs Keanu by the shoulder. Keanu had enough time to walk 10 yards before Robert did anything. And so this was very silly. And Keanu looks back and he's like, "Oh, as you were, whatever." Like, this is not the kind of guy you want running things. And like, Ava was inconsistent, but she laid down the law. Like she
Sometimes.
wasn't like, oh geez, what do I do now? I hope this is because he's so bad at this and obviously not cut out for it that I was going to be like, I hope that like by next week or even the week after, and what am I saying? The earliest we can expect him to find a different general manager on a permanent basis is May, maybe June. Like it should be evident to everybody after tonight. Robert Stone can't do this job. He might be able to be the assistant general manager. He cannot be the general manager. He is getting walked over by everybody in talent. We can't have that. We got to get rid of him. But instead, he's going to keep doing this Woody Allen routine for the next 2.5 months.
I actually kind of disagree with you on this. I kind of like that he's bad at his job on the first real week at it. Like, if they do something with it. I don't like it if that's his whole character. But if smart people, and specifically heels, take advantage of the fact that he's so impish, I think it has the potential to be really cool. I am pessimistic that they will take advantage of it. But what we were talking about last week,
I've taught you well.
Because
there's no way they're doing that. So,
I got my guard up a little bit around these parts. But what we talked about last week of it being such a missed opportunity for that to be the theme of the episode, like that could be the theme heading into Stand and Deliver. Like if they love their chaos so much around here, like maybe Robert Stone doesn't facilitate it because he's just so shooting from the hip all the time, but maybe it's because he can't stand up. And I don't think that's like a far departure maybe from what was going on in Evolve. Like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that like asserts authority with clarity and command. So I actually don't hate that. And I also don't hate when we get super chats and humper chats, Alex, and we are behind on our greetings.
Oh yeah, do the greetings.
I'll do the greetings. When we were talking about the ticket sales before, Tim McFowle sent in a generous chat saying, poor ticket sales for Mania are a bit of the product, a bit of the prices, and a lot about the international, especially Canadian, audience not traveling to the U.S. Travel to U.S. has been cratering for some reason. Huh. I did also see a lot of people who are like, yeah, I don't want to go. There are some people who make WrestleMania their vacation of the year or whatever. And so they use it as an opportunity. I'll go to wherever for that week. And they were like, well, I'm not going back to Vegas a second time. Mm-hmm. I was just there last year and it's an expensive city and all these other things. So I just saw a lot of people like, I'm skipping out for that reason because I'm not making my one big trip for the year the same place I went last year. That doesn't make sense. So we'll have to see where The Rock announces 2027 for, and then where they change it back to again.
It's in Saudi next year.
Oh yeah, sorry, 2028.
So 2028.
I already skipped a. I'm already thinking past this Mania.
Yeah,
I was like the next one, which is of course actually 2 down the line. But we also had my dad saying, greetings and special thanks to Team Kalex who entertained, informed, and inspired the greatest audience on YouTube, the SGS. Be sure to pick up your I watched NXT and all I got was this lousy t-shirt from JW Pringle merch today. Well, Dad, you're not the only one who watches us and not the show around here. There is merch development though. I have some files to get approved by Alex. So we'll line, but
send them.
Looking good so far.
All right, good.
Greg Terry saying, good evening, Fightful Faithful. I believe it's my duty to tell you that it went from negative 15 degrees yesterday to 54 today, a 69-degree increase. Nice. Alex, I need to pull you off screen for this. I'm sorry. Because this is just a sincere me to the audience thing. I feel like last year, my usage of 69 jokes went down significantly from 2024. And that is a me thing. I didn't even want Alex to be associated with this because he is so uninvolved in the responsibility. And I take full responsibility for how much my usage of 69 jokes went down. And I'm it's a New Year's resolution in 2026 to bring them back. I'm hoping spring into summer, that cusp, there's just plenty of opportunities to do that based on weather changes. But I'm going to be more proactive in it, and I'm sincerely apologize, as there's a drive to deep left from Castellanos. Hey, Alex.
Hi. The real question is, do you consider yourself a man of faith?
I do.
Okay, good. It's important.
Iconic. Any other chats that are of the greeting variety? No, we got some puns though. And we got some birthdays coming up. Matthew Hooks.
Nice. Jaida Parker, Blake Monroe.
Yes.
So the NXT agents and writing crew were like, hey, that Natty and Maxine match from last night was pretty good. Pretty good idea for the old double count out because they won't stop beating on each other. We're going to do things a little different and let them fight for 3 minutes instead of 30 seconds. But it's basically the same idea because we all operate out of the same hive mind. And that's just what anybody who does a thing, rest assured, somebody else will be like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Meaning I don't want to actually use my brain. I'll just be lazy and steal something from somebody else. So, yeah. So we just did that. I actually feel like it works better here. Especially with the post-match extracurriculars with Jaida beating up most of the security detail who was trying to stop her from going after Blake, and Blake watching on in horror from the stands as she decimates a bunch of fully grown men. I actually think it works better because Jaida can't be controlled and Natalya should be all about control. She should have rolled her back into the ring and put her in the sharpshooter and broke her back. That's the kind of person the kind of wrestler that the low-key legend Natty Neidhart is. She's not feral. You know what I mean? She's a veteran who knows that you would want to hit the pay window after decimating your rival. That makes a lot more sense than this, but I guess they needed to protect Maxine for some reason, so they couldn't do that. They do, in fact, need to protect both of these ladies because this is a longer feud than this thing, and because they like to tell things at a glacial pace, undoubtedly, Jaida Parker will be suspended indefinitely. That might be for 1 week or 2 or even 3, while they do other things to build up the storyline because it has to last all the way until Mania.
God, that feels weird that Blake Monroe would not be fighting for any title at Mania. Feels very, very weird. Or Stand to Deliver. I like the architecture of this feud. Like, I feel like Jade, I said this before, Jade's very different than any type of face that they have. Blake is very different than any type of heel that they have. And the two of them are very different from each other. And something that has been missing in WWE on the whole has been this is the face, this is the heel. There are way too many cool guy heels and way too many faces with layers where they're actually just kind of shitty. So I liked how this is executed. I agree with you. I can't even place why I agree with you about Natty that she would be opportunistic in the way that she would go about it rather than just like, I'm here to beat your ass. It's not a fault of anybody really involved, but I still don't know like what warrants them hating each other so much at this point. Like it feels like they didn't
none.
They didn't escalate. Like the level of animosity that is there feels like it should be a match 2 or 3 type thing. And not our first match ended this way. Like something should have happened in this match to then warrant the anger that happens like this in match 2 or 3. So I just feel like it's almost hotter than the match called for in a way. I don't know.
Jaida Parker interrupted Blake Monroe for no reason. Just, I would like to talk now. And Blake Monroe took such great offense to that I believe she interrupted a Jaida Parker promo. And then Jaida Parker said mean things to Blake Monroe. And then last week, Blake Monroe attacked Jaida Parker outside in the parking lot. And so a match was made for tonight. And so Jaida Parker, on the strength of being attacked last week, decided it was time to try and murder Blake Monroe. It's the way they write these things. It's like, how dare you interrupt me while I am talking, is the worst affront that a wrestler can commit against another wrestler. And they did it to each other and on back-to-back weeks. And then there was an unprovoked attack in a parking lot. And so now they had to do this. And because Jaida Parker was so angry, she would not stop beating up Blake on the outside, and they called the double count out. Again, it is very funny when you get Booker T noticing stuff that he's not supposed to notice in kayfabe, because the referee was doing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, you got to count the same way every time. If there's not a count out or if there is, I would say somewhere between the 1, 2, if there's not going to be a count out, and the 1, 2, 3, 4, if there is going to be a count out. A happy medium, let's say, that you count at that pace for all potential count outs would be nice. But Booker T is like, that was a fast count out. She was counting too fast. I've never seen a ref count that fast before. Like, yes, you're right, Booker. It's called, they just don't want to waste the time. And so they did this.
There was also an unfortunate spot in here where Blake went to just suplex Jaida, and she, I think, unintentionally sandbagged it. I don't know what she thought was getting set up for, but I
think that Jaida thought she was supposed to block. And
that would make sense.
That's what it looked like to me. It's like, I'm supposed to sandbag you, and you're gonna go up, and then I'm gonna count. And Blake was just like, I'm just muscling you, and just dropped her directly on the top of her forehead. And I was like, and Booker T let out a sound that I didn't even think Booker T was capable of making. It was like, oh yeah, no. And I was like, oh, I gotta rewind and find out what happened. And then I made the same sound.
In like a 3-minute match, that also stands out more, because it's like you did 7 moves and one of them happened like that. So, but it's wrestling. Shit happens.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to continue for a while. They're doing something finally, still too slowly, with Zaria and Soul, with JC kind of as an ancillary character while still being the champion. And so that's what's going on with the main title. The North American title gets some AI slop we're about to talk about. Where you could easily, like, Blake was never supposed to lose the title to Thea Hale. She did. And then Thea Hale was supposed to have a match with Blake. Blake attacked her, and Thea was still the champion for about an hour. And then she lost to Izzy Dame. And like, if the ref decides to not call it as a shoot on that, are we doing Blake versus Jaida Parker for the North American title right now?
Man,
is that what it is? Because it does feel like that feud should be more about a title. Like Jaida interrupting Blake Monroe when Blake Monroe has the championship, and Jaida saying, I'm back and I want that, makes a lot more sense, as opposed to, you could just do Izzy and Tatum still hate each other, and it's mostly for that, as opposed to the NXT North American Championship, which doesn't have any bearing on Tatum's thing because her one was the world title, and she seems to not give a damn of getting back that thing that she held for like 4 weeks. There's a lot of really bad storytelling and writing in NXT, and I feel like this is like part and parcel of that. Like, you guys took like an accident thing and decided to like, okay, well, we're gonna write around the accident. We're gonna write something new instead, and the stuff that you chose to write instead is bad, like on all fronts. And now you just gotta have to figure out a way to book yourself out of this corner you booked yourself into.
I had this thought earlier I was like, I like that we have title adjacent feuds for the women, like Soul and Zaria it's this part of what they're doing is kind of cool, is like it revolves around titles, but they don't have them. Like that's literally the most title adjacent you can get, is that Soul has either had or earned opportunities to every title that Zaria cannot. You can't get more title adjacent than that. You're right there. This one with Jaida and Blake, title adjacent. I was like, I like that. I would also like feuds for the titles that make sense, though, to your point, like that are not done out of like shock upsets or whatever. I understand there are ones you can't control, but like they could have written a whole bunch of other stuff around that, including just giving Thea Hale her due if something weird was going to happen like that.
Yeah.
And now going into Stand and Deliver, it's we have time, but it's a little confusing because I'm like, well, I don't think Sol Ruca and Zaria is going to be a non-title match on the card. And I don't think Jaida and Blake is going to be a non-title match on the card. And maybe that doesn't have to take up so much time. But I would love it if they were, because the women of NXT, quite frankly, are kicking the boys' butts over there. So,
right.
So that would be cool. But none of these seem like the longer term investments in stories are in the non-title ones, which is just weird. And Alex, like I would put money down that this Ruca thing is going to take us all the way to Stand and Deliver at this point, wouldn't you?
I would, indeed, I would.
But unfortunately, there's just no way that you could ever bet on wrestling ever.
No, you can't bet on wrestling. No, you can. You can. There's actually a sponsor we have of this particular program.
Alex, I'm pretty familiar with all of our wonderful sponsors at this point. NordVPN, the best VPN in the game. Blue Chew. I do some very What is this MyBookie though? I don't.
At MyBookie AG, they say that you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere, and they mean it. NBA, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, UFC, pro wrestling. But that's not it. Motorsports, golf, tennis, darts, cycling, cricket, handball, floorball, rugby, snooker, volleyball, table tennis, cycling. Yeah, you can bet on it at MyBookie AG. They got the best support system in the business. We only want you to bet what you can, and please bet responsibly. But go take advantage of being able to bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. They got live esports. They got racing. They got everything at MyBookie AG. And right now, get a $50 bonus when you deposit $100 or a $100 bonus when you deposit $200. You can bet with Bitcoin and play their great casino games as well. MyBookie AG.
I learned so much in that minute and 5 seconds, in which I was astutely listening to our ad read and not getting my tea that was up.
Oh, okay, nice. Oh,
I'm just like a corporate America dream.
I'll just join you in my.
Ooh, cheers, sir.
Came in the mail today.
I'm like a walking Maxinista right now with like my Valentine's Day sweater and my Namaste in bed mug.
Hold on, I have to drink it like a white girl.
Cozy. You are alarmingly good at that.
Yeah. Okay. So, so yeah, I wanted to read this before I forget to do it. Matt Hooks says, SGS, tomorrow it's my birthday. Kate and Alex, thank you for creating this place of crazy. Also, finally got my new demo, so check my site if you want to see it. Love you, SGS. We need more love in the world. We do need more love in the world.
We do. You, me, Bad Bunny, we're all saying it.
We're all
Sports
saying
Illustrated
it.
is the one saying it.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah. Kate. I just don't. Okay. So just don't use AI. Just not on this scale. Like we were having fun talking about how AI could probably write the shows better than the current contracted writers. But I was like, just, get them to like give you an angle and then you write around it. Like, don't write all the dialogue. Let ChatGPT like tell you, hey, you haven't used this angle since 2005. I'm like, oh yeah, we haven't used that one in a while. That would freshen up the playbook. And then you can write the stuff around remembering that angle. I was kind of like saying, like, maybe that would at least make the show watchable. Please don't use AI. In this case, don't build an entire vignette around a really spooky black and white thing of Tatum drowning as thorn branches grow out of her eyes and nostrils. And also Izzy Dame as well. And like the dialogue, like the promo work, I guess. It almost felt like you had the AI read it, because that didn't sound Tatum-y. Like it just, all of this was a sloppy vignette. It was not good. It was unsettling, but like it would have been unsettling if you would like, hired people to make it. Like the aesthetic of it was unsettling, but the most unsettling part of it is that you used computers to make it, and all of the weird like the herky-jerky AI movements made it just really unfortunate to watch. I mean, thankfully, Tatum Paxley was at no point wearing the AEW Men's World Title, so it's got one up on that one. So yeah.
I am not one for the artificial intelligence, specifically in the creation realm. I think you are underestimating. If you're trying to create human connection through storytelling, taking human beings out of it, I think it's the worst way to go about it. That's just to be a culpa. Should you support these creative efforts with AI, perhaps make sure they don't suck. They are not off to a good start in this company with this. Like Chad Gable having 6 fingers as El Grande Americano, Dominic Mysterio having the AEW belt. Like this, at least make them good. At least hire an editor to make them good. Like you can't just, I really don't know a lot about this world, but from my understanding is like you can't rely on AI alone to produce a finished product. And if they had an editor look over this, they need new editors because this was bad. This was all really, really bad. So like I disagree with it because I think it's inherently a bad idea to take humans out of a vehicle where you're trying to connect with humans. That just seems dumb. But on top of that, should you choose to use this technology, don't do a dog shit job with it and have people look over stuff so that you're not belting up your rival's title on one of your own stars and that your people don't have 6 fingers. That is It is bad. And for someone like Taters, my precious Tater Tot, who like this stuff is important to their presentation. Like she's very, very, very character committed and heavy in this regard. Come on.
Yeah.
Bad.
So like this is what we've got for the North American title right now. And I love Taters. And I think Izzy is doing a very good job at her stuff, but it just feels like the champions should be the most important people on the show.
Yeah.
You have JC just hanging out backstage until she wanders out for the last 5 seconds of the show today. And Izzy is silent as AI vines grow out of her face in an AI schlop video. You got to find something for them to do on the weekly show that's important. They're the champions.
And they should at very least be staggered of like one having an appearance and one having a segment that moves it forward, a match, a promo battle, whatever, and then the other person at least having a presence on the show. Like to me, that's almost a non-negotiable. If you have this many titles, stagger them.
The concept was cool. I don't know about the vines in the face. That was weird. But like Tatum feeling like she's drowning and like I need to get back to the surface. They did one a couple of years ago with Io underwater, but it wasn't AI. They filmed her in a tank of water. And it was really cool. The lighting that they chose to use and stuff. It was a really great vignette. And you just do that. Do something like that as opposed to this, which just feels unsettling, you know? Yeah, I don't know.
It also takes you out of it when you're like, this is put together poorly. Like everything that was cool about it. It's like the production being bad ruined my ability to buy into it.
Mm-hmm.
So Alvin Bell asking a very important question. It's pronounced Vigna.
Or Vignetti, depending on your local vernacular.
Sure.
Leafy Green Dixon is upset with Ponytail Mustache. About
if you had just said it,
how you walked out on Chase U. Hey, don't you remember operative word we brought Andre Chase back into the business? Like Chase U was dead. We single-handedly revived it. You can't just walk out on it now. Yes, I can. Then maybe you don't understand what, like, listen, the son of Brian Pillman and the son-in-law of Santino we're starting the new legacy group, and you can't get involved because you're not allowed. And it is very funny to me about this whole thing of Kale being like, you don't understand me or whatever. Bubble. Kale leaves Leafy Green. He's bye Leafy Green. Them like, all right, well, now that you're firmly in our camp, we just need the last piece of the puzzle. And then Ponytail Mustache is like, don't worry, my dad and his dad go way back. I'll talk about it. So because Regal and Finlay used to team together, used to fight each other, like a WCW stalwarts back in the day. So the idea of using that to recruit Dempsey is an idea. Something was going around. Like I saw a clip. I don't know if it was on Blue Sky or what this weekend, and I had forgotten what Finlay used to look like.
Yeah.
Before he went blonde with the buzz cut, he had dark hair and a mustache and a glorious curly mullet. If he had bound it in a little scrunchie, he would have been Ponytail Mustache Senior. You like ponytail mustache and del ponytail mustache. Like
He
that's
prefers the first.
he
And
was
ponytail mustache.
Ponytail mustache senior, ponytail mustache junior. I had forgotten that Finley used to be a brunette with a glorious curly mullet and a skeevy as hell mustache. And I realize now that the new ponytail mustache was just honoring his father. And I think that that's honestly really nice.
What you don't know is Cale Dixon was also honoring his father, who is, of course, head of Cale.
Yeah. His mom was actually a head of Cabbage. He's only half Kale.
It was controversial at the time.
He's entirely leafy green, but
he's as cruciferous as they come.
I don't know. You know,
Yeah,
they said
old
back in the
school
day,
Finley, though.
even one drop of kale, and you're entirely Kale.
No, it is. I saw some stuff circulating too of older Finley, ponytail mustache, the first that we know of. He could have been a next generation ponytail.
You know what?
Mustache.
Yeah, ponytail could be. He might have been the second, and
This is
ponytail
very
mustache
funny.
was the one that came over on the boat.
That before going blonde looked like he was a state trooper from the 70s. Kind of.
It's kind of
Not wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, like the thing that I'm nervous about is like I don't want Chase U to be the Bullet Club of NXT where they're like, we just have to keep adding new members. Like, let's just break it up if the simps are gonna even leave. Like, can we just not make it a thing?
Yeah,
like I don't want Leafy Green to have to find a new partner and them to be like, we still have more students that aren't students around here. Like, let's
No, we're
don't
done
need
with
that.
we're done with Chase U now. We're done with Chase U. Yeah.
We're good.
Louis is gonna get the Chase U stats because it's important. Yeah.
He's taking a break from finding cool counters.
Tom LaValle says in Mexico his bigote de cola de caballo.
Ponytail mustache.
Occasionally they will do stuff on NXT that makes me feel like I'm actively having a stroke. They did such a thing tonight. It's a camera on Vic Joseph
Clip this.
talking to Booker T.
Gods.
And he says, "Hey Booker, have you seen in the news about the nationwide manhunt for a serial killer?" And then Booker's like, "He's right over there. He's behind me, isn't he?" And then the camera pans over and it's a guy in a serial killer costume with a weird gas mask thing, and like this is the killer from the new movie Psycho Killer. And I was like, is this a joke? Is there a guy, because I had never heard of this movie. Is this a guy whose new gimmick is guy in a horror movie? And I looked it up. There's a movie called Psycho Killer that's coming out on February 20th that I had never heard of before. And this is how they're promoting it.
This was their big cross promotion effort.
This was their big. I haven't seen a trailer on television, on YouTube, ever. I had to Google it to find out it was an actual movie.
Well,
I will say it's a very unsettling looking idea for what the Psycho Killer would look like, but weird.
I was kind of like, Tommaso Ciampa just left.
Yeah, if you
Like, just
wanted a
that.
psycho killer, you could have re-signed Tommaso Ciampa. Oh, actually, he would not have let you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. It's a movie about a lady state trooper in Kansas who is hunting the man who killed her husband. According to the blurb, when you Google "psycho killer movie," that's the blurb. There's a trailer online, but I did not watch it because who cares? What? Why would this be a thing? Why not throw to a trailer of the movie? Why is the way you want to promote it that there's a guy dressed as your killer in the front row of the audience of an episode of NXT, a show that has nothing to do with horror movies?
Why didn't he interact with Shiloh Hill is also a question I have. Like, they should be weird birds of a feather.
Her husband's death was gory. My shadow knows my story.
Incredible theme. Done better as Dusty.
It's not a WWE Studios production because they have shut that down. That is not a thing.
They don't exist, unfortunately, anymore. Jam Beard saying, thank God Ciampa left before the Psycho Killer thing because he would have 1,000 million trillion been the guy under the mask.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like this guy, did he look a little small for a serial killer? I feel like serial killers are like body guys. I was watching this part on my phone, but like
I'm
maybe
pretty sure they took one of the recruits and put him in a mask. I don't think it's actually the guy who plays him in the movie.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like serial killers by nature are body guys. Like, you don't see like a 5'7" Michael. You know what I mean?
No, I didn't think he was 5'7". He was much taller than the girl he was sitting next to. Like, much taller.
Maybe I'm wrong. It's
From
possible.
a seated position, it seemed like he was, 6'1", 6'2".
Okay. That's on me then. He looks small on my phone screen because I had to walk the dog.
This is the second men's speed tournament match. Josh Briggs and Eli Knight. Josh Briggs loses because Eli Knight over-rotated on a moonsault and nearly diverticulitis to this man. Like he
almost got Omega.
He almost did the moonsault stomp. Like he was so close to doing a moonsault stomp to Josh Briggs's guts, to old Double Vest. And he won. Eli Knight won. So it's Eli Knight, Flippy Doo versus Elio Le Fleu, Flippy Doo. Tomorrow, next week. It's Flippy Doo versus Flippy Doo, and the winner of that will probably lose to Jasper Troy. So it is a thing we're doing. The thing the speed title is terrible and has always been terrible. But the one thing that they did before that was better is it was constant. As soon as somebody won a tournament and then got their title match, the next tournament began immediately afterwards. Like, you can't do like, okay, well, Jasper Troy, next week it's Elio Le Fleu versus Eli Knight, and the winner of that faces in 2 weeks Jasper Troy. They're not going to start another tournament after that until, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks afterwards. And even then, the tournament will feature 4 guys in total in the tournament. So, like, you can do this in a way that is actually interesting. And what I would do is I would have guys like win the tournament, and then they just can't put away a guy that size in 5 minutes. Like, because if you can't beat him in 5 minutes, he's still the champion. Like, that would be a kind of an interesting thing to like build the guy who keeps winning the tournament, keeps getting shots at him, and keeps getting closer and closer to beating him until finally he does. And you can do all of that in the span of 2 months. You can give one guy 3 shots at Jasper Troy, and on the third shot he beats him, and all it would take is like 8 episodes of NXT to get it done.
I've got a better idea.
All right.
Just don't have this on the show.
Well, I can't say I disagree with that.
I don't like it, and I don't like it on this show because if you have something that's a 5-minute time limit type device on a show that's in-ring heavy, it kind of like breaks something up. This show is so chaotic that like it just feels like another segment, and there's nothing fun or special about it. Like it's I guess like there has yet to be a time where I look at what happens in the speed tournament and don't go, you can't find better usage for literally everybody else involved in this. And I just like short matches are great if they're breaking something up. NXT is just a string of things that are already broken up. Like we don't get we don't get anything that like there's not like a flow to things. There's 9 trillion segments a show. So I'm not a fan of it. And I will never be a fan of it unless Noam Dar comes back and wins it. And then he throws it out and turns it back into the Heritage Cup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After the match, Elio Le Fleu comes out to like shake hands with Eli Knight, and Jasper Troy comes out and attacks both of them. They try to work together, and he just lays waste to both of them at the same time. So this is good, so that we know he can't. This should be a triple threat. Figure out a way to make it a triple threat, and then it'll be fun. Like these two really fast dudes, athletic, ping-ponging off the big guy. Figure out a way to make it that, and actually that could be compelling. But like Jasper Troy versus either one of these guys is just going to be the same match. And it's, because Jasper Troy can only do so many things.
Alex, I see you trying so hard over there, and I just feel like I'm on Shark Tank because I'm out. I'm like just not. There's no 10% of my company being my attention span that I can give to. It's bad. It's bad. They should put it on YouTube instead. Is a great suggestion. Like just do that. Unless, of course, Noam Dar comes back and turns it into the Heritage Cup magically.
Lola Vice was attacked by Kalani Jordan last week, Tuesday. Kalani Jordan specifically said, "I broke her hand. Let's see her to try to knock somebody out now." Right?
Yes.
This is a thing.
As you said, she held the chair 4 inches off the ground and broke her hand.
She dropped a chair on her hand from a ladder, on her hand from a height of 4 inches and broke it. Now, since last Tuesday, Lola Vice and I believe her tag partner is Mr. Iguana have won the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships. Now, it used to be Ethan Page and Chelsea Green, but Chelsea got injured. So did they vacate them or did they have her lose them?
Chelsea Green, notably not Leafy.
No.
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. I feel like they've. We're gonna look it up right now.
Ethan defended with La Hiedra.
Oh, okay, yeah, because she was online like, I didn't approve of this.
Did Lola Vice end up knocking out La Hiedra with her finishing move anyway? Like, you actually, like, I would never have known that this took place. But you have Robert Stone say to her, by the way, congratulations on winning the mixed tag titles in Mexico this past weekend. But you're not cleared to wrestle now. Wait, so she was attacked and her hand was broken by dropping a ladder on it from 4 inches. And she was cleared to wrestle in Mexico, but she won't be cleared to wrestle next week because I guess she re-aggravated it. Alexa Bliss Gamer saying that I don't think they even acknowledged the hand injury during the match. She won with a fade to black. Okay, a kick, not a back.
Okay, that's a little better at least. Okay.
Goodness. I mean, this is all very silly and dumb and stupid. So, he says, he says, if you're healthy, there's a match with Kalani Jordan on the table for next week if you want it. You with your broken hand. And then somebody comes and is like, hey, you gotta come quick. There's chaos. And and it's the most predictable thing ever, which is that apparently Keanu Carver has murdered several men with a giant stool that you can sit on, like a bar stool. He took a bar stool and beat a lot of men to death with it. And wow, I guess that's the chaos that HBK wanted.
Evidently. Which, in his defense, is chaotic.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and give him a call.
Yeah, just give him a shout.
I'm going to give him a call because I feel like this is weird. This doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, no, we got to get some clarity about this. Thank you for making There's got to be a quicker extension, something more direct for you.
Sorry, I misdialed.
Oh, okay. It's okay.
Hey, Hick and Bud. How's it going, bud? Okay, I have a question. Yeah. So Robert Stone keeps saying that you wanted chaos. What's the deal with that? Oh, well, that makes sense. No, I feel like
I bet it's the faction from New Japan.
I feel like they're elsewhere employed. Yeah. No, you can't have them. I know how much you want them. I know, but sometimes we can't get what we want. Okay. Well, maybe they'll be available later. Mm-hmm. Well, here's what you should do. I think you should write a nice letter to the Easter Bunny and see if he can bring you chaos for Easter in your Easter basket. Okay. All right, buddy. Okay. Night. Bye-bye. That guy. He wanted Chaos, the New Japan stable, featuring Kazuchika Okada. And you can't have that because they work elsewhere.
Well, yeah, I think Chaos is gone now. I
mean, like the members of Chaos, if the faction still existed, the members of Chaos are not available. So,
I mean, he could try and make a play for Toru Yano, but I don't think that's how that's.
Toru Yano would fit right into NXT.
He really would of anybody that you could grab.
He would be Ethan Page's greatest rival.
Yeah.
They would just run Toru Yano versus Ethan Page for 6 straight months.
I also don't forget that Sue is a member of Chaos from AEW, so that Forbidden Door might not be open. Greg Cherry, thank you for the subs. Ty Dillinger, perfect 10.
That's great. So that was the chaos that Keanu Carver delivered. He wanted a title shot. He got this.
He did get this, and he did not deliver chaos in the form of establishing member Toru Yano. So that's unfortunate.
Dark State is here to talk Deion Lennox, they're still positioning him as the top guy in the faction. And while I think he's very good, he's not Saquon Sugars. And when they let Saquon Sugars talk during this promo, you were like, oh, yeah, that's the guy. That's the guy. I don't know what we're doing. Why is that guy not the guy? If you said next week there's a battle royal for the number one contender to Joe Hendry, I would say book Saquon Sugars to win it, book him to beat Joe Hendry. Watch your ratings take off with this dude as the top dude in your company. I have no idea why we're not doing that. He has 3 dudes to protect him as the heel champ. He can cut fantastic promos. He's a great worker. It's perfect. And all of these idiots who work there don't see it.
He is like Zarya to me, where I'm like, can we just, I know you have that little switch that you flip on people sometimes. Can we just flip it already?
Mm-hmm.
And Deion Lennox, very high potential, not enough of it.
I think
yet.
he and Osiris could be great as the tag team.
True.
With God willing, they're writing Cutler off the show next week. God willing. Because he did most of the promo tonight, and he is bad. He is generic as hell. He is a 5 out of 10 at everything. Now listen, there's a lot of wrestlers they got on this company that are a lot lower than 5 out of 10s. But you got to have higher than 5s at some things to raise you above default caw, which is what this dude is. You know what I mean? You got to do something better than that, because that's not what, you know what I mean?
I understood that reference, and I'm proud of myself.
He's like, Tony D'Angelo, there's one final warning. You'll come after Dark State. You go and do your soul searching someplace else. And again, I don't think it's a really dumb thing for him to blame Dark State for anything, because that is a feud that wasn't even really about Tony D or his boys. It was a thing to like give Dark State a good victory early in their run, but then they didn't capitalize on it. And they immediately went into like Stacks turned on Tony during that match. It was Dark State did not put him up to it. There was no reason like it was all Stacks is doing. So there's no reason. Stacks is still here. Like he's friends with Brian Pillman Jr. I'm pretty sure you can get to him easily. Beat him up some more. I don't know why you're going after Dark State. I mean, listen, I'd like you to beat up Dark State, but this is just silly.
I feel like there were several different situations he could have come back with the vengeance for, and Dark State is like that, even in the top 5. Like, he could have come back for the North American title. He could have come back for the world title. He could have come back for Stacks at a title adjacent feud. And they just didn't do any of that. And this feels so compensatory for something that they were building for so long, and something that like I feel like we wanted for a while. And I haven't forgotten about you, Mr. Vignetti, of the assumed murder part that we never got an answer to. Though more and more that feels like Oba, and he's not here yet, or anymore.
Yeah, no, he's not. No, I don't know what that was. That was very stupid that they put that on there and they never did it. So, Neek, like, you think we forgot about the culling? And then here are they? They're up in the Raven's Nest, and like, no, we're not coming down there and facing you 2-on-4 because we are smart. And then the lights go down, and I was like, oh, Tony D is here. He has no problem facing you 1-on-4 because he's great, and he brought a crowbar. Nope, it's OTM standing outside of their light, which is very funny.
Yeah,
like they like Bronco Nima was standing 2 steps above where he should have, because when all the spotlights stopped moving, the spotlight shone, and it was like up from here up was like in darkness. Very funny. But they like, you guys culling, you want to wait for your shot? We're not waiting. We're coming back and getting. If it wasn't for Vanity Project getting in our way, we would have beaten you last time, so we're coming after again. And then Hank and Tank come out, and then they've said, hey Tank, could you do everything? Like, I want to see the level that you think is over the top. Okay, do that, but triple it. And that is what they've had Tank do. And I'm like, that is no longer fun for me to watch. Because they just had it, they had him, they like we're not using Thea Hale on screen anymore, so you can use all of her coke. And because she's going to give you her supply. Because that was not, it was just too much. But Osiris, they say, as soon as we're done beating, Hank and Tank say, as soon as we're done beating Vanity Project later, we're going to come after the tag titles. And then Osiris and Saquon jump out of the ring and like brawl with those two guys out of the ring. But here's Tony D, and Tony D takes out both Cutler and Dion with absolute ease, like a hot knife through butter. And I'm like, yeah, great. This is what we should do. We do that with him. Make that a thing. He showed up December friggin' 6th. Like he came back. So later they have a little thing backstage where they're like, we're gonna take out. He says, no, Saquon, Osiris, you guys focus on the tag team titles. Dion Lennox, you stay in the main event. I'm gonna handle this Tony D'Angelo business personally. And I was like, man, that guy needs to be dropped off a bridge. It's the perfect time. Like, here's the other thing. Once it was just Tony D and these two guys, I'm going to take everything from you, Dark State. By which I mean, do spine busters to you, to two of your guys, and then stand there and look at the camera. Shouldn't he have done something? Like, what is Tony D's incapacitating thing? Like the concerto, Pillmanizing. Does he stick a dude's arm in the ring steps and kick the ring steps? Does he do a Braun Breaker and smash Von Wagner's skull? Like, what is his thing that he does? Because he needs to do that to the members of Dark State one by one. Like, that's when you say, when a former mob figure says, I'm going to take everything from you, he doesn't mean spinebuster you a couple of times. He should mean something else. And maybe next week, during this one-on-one match he has with Cutler James, he will finish that after he beats Cutler James by taking him out so that there are less and less of you. And finally, he says, I will let you know what the other thing I am doing is. Once I am finished with Dark State, you could have that happen by the end of February, or you could have it happen in May. You know, like, and I know which one they're going to choose, but it doesn't have to take that long.
I just don't buy the vengeance of it all. Like, I don't buy that, like, Tony D has been festering for months to take out these guys one by one when they really didn't do that much. And I feel like part of the magic with Tony D is, like, everything he does is extremely intentional, and we don't have enough of that in wrestling. And this feels like, I'm going to run through some guys. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't feel great. Like, yeah, I had really high hopes for his return, and that part's probably on me at this point. But this is not their insistence that Dark State is a force is never backed up by their creative and their booking.
No.
So, like, they've just never felt important enough that it feels like, God, they've been this huge force that's been in Tony D's way. Like, I just it's unfortunate. Like, they made a splash when they first arrived, and it was a joke, and then it got serious because we saw who could work and how they could work, and then they haven't followed it up with anything meaningful, really. So and part of it is, like, they give them tag runs and the state of the tag division is not great. So like there's just not heat there, and it's certainly not enough heat to justify this Tony D return. Like I don't buy it that he's been just waiting to get his hands on these guys. And I'm almost positive that the original plans for this got dashed, but like this as the follow-up, bad.
It's bad.
Not good.
I mean, you could easily, the easiest thing to do would be to have him say, I'm back for one thing. I was never the world champion, and I know I can be. I don't have anybody to hold me back. I don't have a family to worry about keeping them whole. This is it. I'm coming back for the title. Whoever has it.
Yeah.
Very easy. Tony D deciding, I want that title. I'm coming after Joe Hendry. At the same time, Ricky Saints is like, well, hold on. Like that's much better than whatever this is. So
simple and clean too.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to. You don't have to make up shit about how Dark State ruined Tony D's life, even though by the time he had that final match with Stax and Luca, he was not thinking about Dark State one iota
at all.
They were so far in his rearview mirror, man. Didn't give a shit about them. That was a thing he had to do, and then he moved on. So, okay. Kelly Kincaid is letting her contract play out. They're not offering her new money, but she still has to come to work. They don't have anybody else to do this, apparently. I would have thought that, like, once it becomes public that she's gone, you could just have somebody else.
Her contract isn't up for another week or something. She just announced it, I think.
I understand that. But, like, once that is like, okay, well, yeah, this is like, all right, this is it. And again, they're not going to acknowledge it. And they didn't. And so anybody who doesn't follow dirt sheets is going to be like, hey, what happened to that short girl? She was cute. They're not going to have any knowledge of where she went or what happened. It's just silly. So she asks Stone about the tag team situation. It's kind of, HBK wanted chaos. So, yeah, next week it's going to be OTM versus the Culling versus Hank and Tank. And the winner's going to face Dark State in Atlanta the following week. I guess I got to go in my office. And Shiloh Hill is standing there in a hockey mask with a machete. I don't know. Where's the fog? Dude, where's the fog? Is the machete the fog? I don't know, man. And then Ethan comes in. The fog is Strangler Lewis coming to save us from whatever they agree. Ethan comes in and says, hey, Shiloh, get the hell out. I gotta talk. And Stone is like, what can I do for you, champ? Like, well, at least finally somebody shows me the respect that I am due. I am tied for the most successful defenses in a single North American championship reign. And I want to break that record. So how about you give me a match so I can break that record? And he goes, well, what about Miles Bourne? No! He doesn't deserve it. How about he names somebody else? I forget who that was. It's like, no, I'm not doing that either, or something. And then here comes Shiloh Hill coming back in because he left his machete in the room. Like, well, what about Shiloh Hill? Shiloh Hill is waving a machete around, and Ethan Page is pretending to be scared. And so they're making that match, Shiloh Hill versus Ethan Page, for next week. Fine. This is fine.
It's not fine because where's the fog?
No, I mean, listen, fog around or find out.
Yeah.
Nobody's making him find out. He is definitely not fogging around. He needs to find out.
He does need to find out, Alex, and I would like to find out about the fog. I feel like the guy with the machete is who you don't give the title match to, but that's just the way I view wrestling. You know what I mean? Just some advice, like for Ethan Page, I guess, is like the guy with the machete, like maybe don't grant him those things. Because I think that there's a higher possibility it's going to end really bad for you, like maybe in death. So that's just my take on it. This has been a very successful title reign for Ethan Page. I think it's done like it's been the saving grace of the men's division, while the rest of it has been flailing. I don't know what more Ethan Page has to do around here, because he's already been the world champ twice. It would be cool if they gave him like a good title reign. That would be cool. But like, it does feel like this is probably winding down, probably to Miles Bourne. Like I think that's the logical,
because we saw that later. Like Miles Bourne comes up to Stone and says, "What the hell? Why is Shiloh Hill get a title shot from an American title?" And it's like, well, I mean, I asked Ethan Page if he would defend against you, but he says you're not ready. I think it's because he doesn't want to face you because you're the one who pinned him last. But I have no authority as the general manager to make a match that I know would be best for the story and also for the people. I can't do that. Is my job as general manager. So I think far be it from me to give you any advice. But if it were up to me, I would think that you maybe should do something a little out of character. So now we know that the reason that Ethan will retain next week is that we're going to see Miles Bourne interfere. Because that would be out of character for him. It's great. Good. Fantastic.
I feel like he's the right guy to put it on, because like he's been in the mid card for a while. There's a history already there with Ethan. Like that's probably the right call. I don't know if I'm sold on like this, because he's not really a heel yet. He's like tweenery. So let's see how that plays out. But I like that idea. I think it feels like that would be before Stand and Deliver, or maybe they're gonna just slow burn it all the way there.
I'm probably all the way there. I mean, if he ends up ruining that match, maybe we get a triple threat with him and Ethan and Shiloh, in which he starts showing more heel tendencies and pins Shiloh to protect Ethan. Ethan can have a brief feud with Joe Hendry. Like if you told me it was Joe Hendry versus Ethan versus Ricky for the top title, at like that's a thing we could do, because I don't think
that's what I was gonna say, because they've been like very chummy too of recent, Ethan and Ricky on screen.
Right. And then Joe Hendry has to find a tag partner at some point. You know what I mean? Whatever. But like Bourne versus Shiloh as his first challenger. Man, the cupboard is bare. Like it's just there used to be like you would have like, oh, there's like 4 or 5 dudes who could be challengers for the North American title, but only because there's already something going on with the main title, because those guys could face that for the main title too.
Sure.
And that's just not the way it is now. We got a whole bunch of rookies, that like need to have something. Like if you're gonna keep Miles Bourne face as the North American champion, have him having a feud with Keno Carver could be good, because I mean Carver's like needs something to do other than just cause chaos.
It is tough though too, because all 3 guys that you just mentioned should be going up. Like they gotta get to sign in some people.
Yeah. So we got our world title match for the men. Jackson Drake is talented. Joe Hendry is what Joe Hendry is. The crowd loves him, and that's really good for him, because without the crowd's support, woof. He gets them riled up and they cheer for him, and it's all bit. But if he's not super over, there's nothing he can do in the match to like get them riled up. They have to like come in ready to watch this guy that they like already. And Jackson Drake is he's very good, but also just he's above his weight class right now. Like not literally and also figuratively. Like this wasn't the level that he's at on the NXT show yet. Or at least he probably shouldn't be, but there's not a whole lot of guys that I would put ahead of him somehow. The Swipe Right boys, they get involved and they get in full view of the ref. They throw Joe Hendry into the steps, and the ref's like, "You guys are ejected," but you could easily call for the DQ because that's a disqualification. But
I've seen people get DQ'd for a lot less.
Oh, for a lot less. But the referee discretion, and
Jonathan
and
discretion.
Joe Hendry, yes, Joe Hendry eventually wins. And it's his big choke slam and gets the victory. And then, oh my goodness, wouldn't you know it? Somebody in a black hoodie. Is it Austin Theory? No. Is it Seth Rollins? No. Is it Grayson Waller pretending to be Seth Rollins? No. It's Ricky Saints. At least he immediately reveals that it is him, but he beats the hell out of Joe Hendry, and that is, yes, indeed, the storyline we're going through forward.
Enough with the black hoodies. Enough. Knock it off. Especially when you don't need to reveal anybody. Like Ricky's, we knew it was going to be Ricky.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't like complaining about things without offering solutions, but I'm like, who would AEW sign? Like, they could sign Matt Taven, or NXT sign. Like, I guess they could sign Matt Taven, like as like a guy who's going to give a bunch of really good matches. Like, if he's willing to sign up for that.
Yep.
But like, there's some people abroad. Like, there's Brooksy in Australia. I just, it's the job of NXT is to make stars, and then when they do that, you need to replenish that, and it's just, this is very thin, because how long is this going to go on? Like Hendry and Ricky, I'm guessing that takes us to Stand and Deliver. I guess,
but yeah, that's the thing that makes somehow the most sense is, to like. Hendry has a shelf life for sure. Ricky doesn't. Ricky's going to be able to get Ricky over whenever he wants.
For sure.
And on any level. Like, eventually Joe Hendry's shtick is going to run dry if they keep, like, making him be, like, the most plain white bread and mayonnaise sandwich. You know what I mean? Like, version of himself. Like, it's just not going to work after a while. They've got to do the stuff that makes him appealing, and they're not really letting him do that.
I don't even feel like we got enough of that, like, match wise, because like he has some sneaky sides to him, and he is strong, but like they just do kind of like, the matches aren't produced to showcase any of that. I feel like we don't get enough of that. It's just kind of like fall away slams and some standard stuff. Like it's not designed to make him look good, and he's not like the guy that's going to have a bunch of hope spots against Jackson Drake, so I don't know.
Yep.
Does not feel good or fresh.
No. Hank and Tank had a match versus Swipe Right, and I know that Hank and Tank can be a very good tag team, and I know, because I've seen the Swipe Right do really great stuff as a tag team, I know they can be very, very good as well. But I had to be up and around and doing stuff. And so as I heard it in the background, I was like switching over the laundry, making my daughter's lunch for school tomorrow, emptying the dishwasher. I was like, I feel like as good as this match is probably going to be, I have this feeling that if I sat and watched it, especially if it was really good, something's going to happen at the end of it. It's going to make me regret having sat through it. And then, while walking back into the living room, having done all of my chores, to sit down and watch the end of the match, I hear, "Oh no, Jackson Drake, no! Oh well, they're like, oh." And it turned out apparently it was a very good match because these are two good tag teams.
Yeah.
And then Jackson Drake leapt out of the crowd and hit a knee on Hank or Tank, I forget which one. And that guy got rolled up and he lost. I'm like, all right, great, good, wonderful. This
Alex,
is
are
how
you
we're gonna write
familiar
stuff.
with what in wrestling is called the numbers game?
I mean, vaguely.
It's a trope that they sometimes use in WWE.
Yeah, sure they do.
Match was very good. Hank and Take, I would like for them to have like a real story again because I think they're great.
Man,
like, they're a bunch of fun.
They squandered all of that they did this time last year.
Yeah,
They really did, man. This was the time last year where like, are they ever going to let these guys win? And at the time, somehow, like this might be the best long-term storytelling that Michaels has ever done.
it was awesome.
The losing streak of Hank and Tank, them trying to find themselves as a tag team, asking all of these veteran tag teams for advice, and eventually pulling it all together by somehow winning a gauntlet match from the one spot, beating all of the teams that already beat them prior to get to a 2-on-2 tag team with the unbeatable best tag team in all of wrestling at the time, Fraxium, the Blurry Boys, the guys we know and love. And they had an amazing dynamite match at the biggest NXT show of the year. And since then, they have done fuck all with old friggin' Hank and Tank, the Hankster and the Tankster in the dumpster, because they could have done something, but they chose to do nothing with them. That's the way it works.
Well, it's also tricky too because it's like, what more do they have left to prove? Because the main roster is, so weak on tag teams.
Well, yeah, like, it doesn't have to be though. They just don't book tag teams. Like they don't book.
Yeah.
Like the Street Profits aren't allowed on TV. They're not on TV. They're healthy.
The Creeds are our main event. Main eventers.
The Creeds are barely ever on television, and when they are, like they've been on television twice since the beginning of the year. One time they took the pin in a fatal 4-way match, and the other time they were trying to figure out how an ice cream boat worked on the Stranger Things episode. That's it. That's what we're doing with the Creeds.
I weep for Julius Creed, honest to God.
I weep for the state of tag team wrestling in WWE because they have so many really great tag teams under contract and cannot seem to figure out what to do with any of that at all. And like, yeah, just So then we have the swipe right, Ricky Vapes and the guy with the hair, and Jackson Drake yelling at Robert Stone, telling him, "You got to put us in this title match next week, the number one contenders match last week. We just pinned a former tag team champions, and we should be in this thing. It's the biggest match of our career. We deserve to do it." And they're a team that's already in this number one contendership match. And Robert Stone is like, could have been like, at least I know Ava would have done this if they had been writing her consistently. Oh, wait. But occasionally they would have Ava do something like this. No, Jackson Drake, you cost Hank and Tank that tag match. And by doing so, you cost your boys a shot at the tag team titles. No, they cannot be in that match. You know what I mean? Like, she occasionally, week to week, she sometimes does stuff like that, where she says, I'm not rewarding bad behavior. But Robert Stone is a guy who does reward bad behavior consistently and all the time. So
Yeah, he just also is so powerless over his own show that even like these newcomers have a grasp on him.
Yep. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So Kelly Kincaid talks to Sean Legacy. He's like, I'm gonna fight Keanu Carver next week because I might be crazy, but I'm also super Sean Legacy, and I'm gonna whatever. So fight.
He's
in
like,
2
I'm gonna
weeks
get
in
my
his
ass
home
kicked,
state.
but I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
do it.
I'm gonna fight in 2 weeks in home state of Georgia. So good for you. So here we go. We have this oddly stipulated match. The Ren QCC versus Zarya and Sol Ruca. The one who gets the pinfall gets the title match. Though not both of you, the one that gets the pinfall. So that whatever. Earlier tonight, we see like Zarya basically say, "We need the win. I'm getting the pinfall because I need this title shot." And Sol's like, but I kind of want it though. And Zarya's like, you always get the title shots. I really want this. And Zarya's like, yeah, but I already told JC I was coming after her title, so that's not a reason. You're a bad friend. You're a bad friend, Sol Ruca. You could have easily said, all right, we're going to work together. And when it comes time to go for pinfalls, I'm making sure you're the one tagged in. We're going to make that happen. But you didn't. And they fought. They shoved each other a bunch of times. She literally goes for pinfalls in front of Zarya while Zarya is still in the ring, and Zarya pulls her off, and Zol's like, what gives? This is all such terrible writing and terrible character work. Eventually,
it's very much giving Ricky Bobby and Cal of the like, hey, I was thinking. Cal's like, what if one of these times like you slingshotted me around and I got to win one? And then Will Ferrell as Ricky Bobby's like, but if you win, how am I gonna win? That's pretty much the crux.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Of what this is. It's simple. It's not NASCAR, but it's wrestling, and they operate not too far demo wise.
Yeah. No, that's you make a good point. The thing that we have here is that the referee has decided to call all things bumping into your tag partner as a legal tag, which is, repeat, never done. I mean, you are free to use your Jonathan discretion.
Of course.
You're absolutely free to do it. However, it's never been utilized in this way before in the history of tag wrestling. Like, so at the end
That'd
of
be
the
like
match,
if I went like this to you, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Or accidentally even like, wow.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Zarya runs into the ropes, was propelled into the ropes, and her back bumped up against Sol's chest. And the referee's like, tag! And I'm like, that is not a tag.
No.
I know.
It's supposed to be a
no
rope
point,
you're even holding.
yeah, no way is that a tag. And so Zarya doesn't realize the referee called it a tag because, again, she's dumb. They write her as being dumb. And so she takes the non-legal person that's in the ring and hits an F5 on them as Sol Ruca. She takes Wren, hits a F5 on Wren, and is going slowly for the cover as Sol Ruca hits doesn't actually hit. She misses a soul snatcher on Kendal Grey and pins Kendal to get the title. And at any point in the next minute, Zarya could fly off the handle and beat the dog shit out of Sol Ruca. and we could do a Vic Joseph could be like, we are out of time. Nobody can stop Zarya. What's going to happen to Sol Ruca and the title shot? Could do that, but instead it's just Zarya glowering at Sol Ruca as he runs down the matches for next week, and then JC Jane struts to the ring and stands on the apron as Sol Ruca's like, sure, whatever. And Jason's like, I've got the title still. This is my only appearance on the show. and Zarya just keeps staring daggers at the back of Sol Ruca's head. And Zarya costing Sol the match is a possibility. Also, Sol winning and then doing Zarya versus Sol is also a possibility. Zarya costing the match at all, just destroying it, coming in and beating up everybody, and then that leading to a triple threat is also a possibility. But like, you guys slow played this for so long, and the final straw that broke the camel's back was Sol Ruca got to be in the Royal Rumble. But there were so many other things that could have done this months ago. And instead you just waited and waited and waited and waited and waited until now. Like, Zarya's lost more than she's won, I'm pretty sure. And I know that doesn't matter to you people, because wins and losses don't matter, but they should. And all of this is bad and could have been good, but it's bad. And I don't like it.
I mean, if the final straw is that Zarya doesn't get a title shot at the prized title for women in NXT, I can stomach that a little easier. It's just been going on so long. And there's a point of diminishing returns with it. Like, when you let something go on so long that you lose like the spot where it was white hot, that's a missed opportunity. And then when it goes on for 3 more months after that, it's just exhausting. I think the cool thing to do would be to have Sol win, Zarya immediately turn on her, and then I think you could save the vitriol by doing it one-on-one. I don't think they're going to do that. That would be kind of unfair to JC Jane, like, in a non-kayfabe perspective with the year that she's had. Like, to just not have her have like a title moment at Stand and Deliver would be kind of shitty. But the most compelling thing they could do to try to salvage it story-wise would be that. And it would also be awesome to have, if you are going to do a triple threat, like, Zarya should beat the living crap out of everybody on the way there. Like, both of the Fatal Influence gals, like, anybody who Sol Ruca smiles at, she should just be wiping out on the way. But I hope the story works, because it just doesn't. It feels like we stayed way too long in this spot.
Like, Sol was in like the last final 3 for the Rumble. She's going up.
Yeah.
So her beating JC Jane for the title with Zarya's help, and then immediately afterwards she thinks, well, thank you, Zarya, and then Zarya murders her and then takes the microphone and says, I wanted to make sure you were the champion so I could beat you for that. And then you have Zarya versus Sol at Stand and Deliver, and Zarya beats Sol, and Sol goes to the main roster. Like, and then you have Zarya as the new Obafemi of the women's division, and you actually book her right, and you have everybody try and climb to get to her, and you have a whole bunch of women who can. By the way, JC Jane probably just needs to be on the main roster too. You can probably bring Fallon with her.
With her. Yeah.
Send Lainey too. Lainey's good enough. She'll find her footing. That's fine. You can send the whole act up there. That's also possible. But you got enough good to very good women on the roster of NXT that could chase Zarya as the champion. I think that's what you need to do. I don't think that they are smart enough to do that because they are bad at this. So
I agree.
there you go. That is
certainly
it.
don't
Let's
disagree.
read some of these things.
Let's do it.
All right, so we did that one, and we did this one, and that's a jukebox. See, Ryan Chiquini says, feeling pretty confident, Soul wins the belt, and her and Zarya wrestle the Stand and Deliver opener. I mean, I don't know if it was going to be on that card, but I'm not confident because that's good booking. And Hickenbottom is hickin' ass sometimes with his booking, so not sure.
Look, you can
Not
either
sure.
be kicking ass or you could be hicking ass. There's only two options.
Tom LaValle says birthday days coming for Hooks and I.
Hell yeah! Happy birthdays!
All right, so the puns were love puns or also romance puns, romance movies, romance books, whatever. Super crazy, stupid love from Louisville.
Very nice.
Rafael Garcia says the Notebook of Hobbs and Angelina Lovebug.
Very nice.
They're very cute. Very nice. See here. This is very good from Louisville. 10 things I hate about Yuta.
Very nice.
Every AEW crowd could give you dozens of things they hate about him. Let's see here. C. Delgado says, crazy, stupid dude love.
Very
Imagine me and Yuta. I Duda. 500 New Days of Summer. Chasing Amy Dumas. Dirty Dango Dancing. A Stardust is Born. And About a Jungle Boy.
Very nice.
Greg Jerry says, Coal Miner's Love Match.
Aww.
Will You Be My Greg Valentine? Kiss Elizabeth. Ember Littlespoon. 8 letters, 2 words. Meet Jute. Meet Jute. Romance Warner. Smack Saber Jr. Bam Bam Big Elope. Bam Bam Big Elope is one we always get around this time of year, and it's always funny.
It's perfect.
Meet Nermus says, Dude Love Actually.
Very nice.
That's actually a double pun.
That's a double pun.
Fantastic. Oba Choose Me. Yambag Jones Diary. Rocky Romeo and Julia. 51st Tyler Bates. She's the One Winged Angel. And Romancing the Robert Stone.
Nice.
Meet Norma says Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mankind. Tom LaValle says Breakfast at Tiffany Stratton's.
Very good.
Meet Normus says Kendall. Oh wait, we already did that one. They're very good from Craig Jerry. The Princess and the Fog.
Ooh.
Maybe that's it. We need a princess to uncover the fog.
Probably.
Let's see here. All right, these are all good. We'll talk about this in a second. I'll talk about this in a second. Okay. Jambeard says, well, I just figured out the wrestling connection. The actor playing the villain also played Hulk Hogan in the Weird Al movie. What movie is this?
Probably Psycho Killer.
Oh.
Interesting.
Okay, there you go.
Well done.
Yeah, but I'm not. We're not watching it. Tom Valley says, wait, Nepo baby-in-law stacks? Yes. Nepo baby-in-law stacks. Yes. Yes, for sure. Jambeard says, Alex complaining about the Creeds not being on TV has activated the monkey's paw. Uh-oh. They'll eventually show up in masks to help OJ Gable Cano in that feud. It's very possible the monkey's paw might be activated. You never know. It also could happen. So, yeah. Jambeard says, sorry if this brings down the mood for everyone, but my heart goes out to Tumble Ridge, BC. School shooting with 10 passed away, including the suspect. Another 25 injured, 2 of whom were in critical condition. It's awful. It is also incredibly rare in Canada. But it is not impossible in BC to travel down to Washington State or Montana or wherever and just pick up something and smuggle it over the border. So easy enough to do. Terrible, horrible, awful,
It's
and our hearts go out to everyone affected by that incident and all incidents of gun violence.
Yeah, it's extremely jarring when it happens every time, and I refuse to let it. Like I won't be sensitized by it. Like I can't let myself do that because it's just one of the most violent, awful things that can happen. And in America, it's almost easy to let that happen because it is so frequent. But in other parts of the world that experience this with great scarcity, I still like understand how terrifying that is, and I still it's so jarring and like violating in a way that you can't really explain, even when it's like you don't have a connection to anything or anything to do with it. Like it just feels like such a horrific event against humanity that you can't help but be displaced by it. So certainly all the condolences and best that we can give goes out to anybody that is affected on any level by that.
Yeah, it's awful. We had a couple of these sent in last week that I'm reading them now because we finally got to them. So it says, spent my B-Day week in Oahu, Hawaii as my first ever solo trip. I had an amazing time and experienced a time difference and weather that felt like spring all year long. In regards to NXT, thanks for watching for me. Can Axiom sing Brie Bella's theme song? Okay, here we go. All right. Just waiting for it to load. Waiting for it to load. Here we go. All right. Mode dancing. Mode dancing in mode. Mode dancing. Mode dancing mode. Dancing mode. Dancing mode. Mode dancing. Mode dancing sing mode. Mode dancing. Mode dancing mode. Dancing sing mode. Dancing mode. Dancing mode. Dancing mode. Dancing mode.
That was beautiful. What are the words? No dancing mode?
Mode dancing. Mode, and then also like a mode apparently. And then it says dancing mode.
Dancing.
Something like that, yeah. The only thing I know about it is Brie
mode.
Okay. And then so this one, Booker. Oh, last week when Booker T said, "How dare they make Izzy defend her title so soon? She won it 27 days ago. This must be a kind of record for defending her title so soon." Booker was on commentary for the episode where Dakota Kai and Raquel were given the NXT Women's Tag Titles and then lost them before the end of the same episode to Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. So claiming Izzy broke a record is even dumber. Yes, it is. It is dumber.
It's quite silly.
It is. It's very silly. Very silly. All right, we have extra jukeboxes. So you have a couple. I'll let you find those while I do simple ones like this. From
I have a friend that's been requested for a couple that I have to go get.
All right, fine. Hello, Meet Enormous. Can Delinda sing "I Will Always Love You"? Yes, of course I can, though I can no longer sing it from memory, so I will have to look it up here. "I Will Always Love You" lyrics. Here we go. If I should stay, I would only be in your way. So I'll go. But I know I'll think of you every step of the way. And I will always love you. I will always love you. You, my darling, you. Bittersweet memories. That is all I am taking with me. So, goodbye. Please don't cry. We both know I'm not what you need. And I will always love you. Oh, I can't do it, Whitney. She breaks my heart.
Oh, stunning. Absolutely stunning rendition.
Hold on here. Braun sings "What About Love" by heart. Okay. So we usually get a lot of these spread out over the Tuesday show and Vengeance Day, the play, but there's no play this year.
Not today.
It's they're running from the grind.
They are. They're big grind runners.
Oh, there you go. I've been lonely. I've been waiting for you. I'm pretending, and that's all I can do. The love I'm sending ain't making it through to your heart. You've been hiding, never letting it show. Always trying to keep it under control. You got it down, and you're well on your way to the top. But there's something that you forgot. What about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? What about love? Don't let it slip away. What about love? I only want to share it with you. You might need it someday. Get these loves.
That's beautiful.
Do you have your was it the Miss?
Well, I'm not going to sing what was sent in because I'm a lady on the internet, and while I appreciate the request of the song, I understand that people clip things and take them out of context, and even with my puppet, let me tell you how much that is not happening. But I will sing. Happy birthday to Hooks. Hooks! Happy birthday to Hooks. Hooks! Happy birthday, dear Hooks. Hooks! Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Lubongi Vice say, Alexei, that's me to sing sultry happy birthday for Hooks. But we already got a happy birthday for Hooks from Catefeld.
Not sultry though. You could do like a happy birthday, Mr.
From
President.
the grind. So because I am not a lady, I will do the thong song. She had dumps like a truck. Guys like what? All night long. Let me see that dong. That's all you get. Happy birthday.
What a tease.
I'm just seeing these for the first time. So this was too good. Hold on. Okay.
Wait, is Alex pixelated or am I pixelated? Someone tell us.
Oh no.
I'll pull up this chat in the meantime. T Electric Mayhem said, not sure if it's because I'm watching the Olympics or because you mentioned it. You were one, but you were giving figure skater tonight, Kate. Why, thank you. I can tell you all about why the axle is the hardest jump. It's an extra half rotation. You have a forward entrance into the jump, but you still have to land normal and backwards. So that's why the quad axel being landed in competition is such a big deal. I'm here for all your figure skating needs.
Nice.
Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir got nothing on me. Oh, Alexi was frozen. Alexi broke the internet.
Uh-oh. Ricardo says, Darby does What's Love Got to Do with It? You must understand, though the touch of your hand makes my pulse react, that it's only the thrill of boy meeting grill. Opposites attract. It's physical, only logical. You must try to ignore that it means more than that. Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart when a heart can be dragged out into the desert and left to die in a body bag?
Who needs a heart when a heart can be Julia was right there.
I mean, I guess that's true. Think about that. Tizak Mayhem wants Gunther to sing "I Want to Know What Love Is" by Foreigner.
I also want that.
Okay. I got to take a little time to think things over. I better read between the lines in case I need it when I'm older. Now this mountain I must climb feels like the world's upon my shoulders. Through the clouds I see love shine. It keeps me warm as life grows colder. In my life, there's been heartache and pain. I don't know if I can face it again. Yeah. Can't stop now. I've traveled so far to change this lonely life. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. Yeah. I want to feel what love is. I know you can show me. I can show me tapping out like a little bitch. Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Thank you very much. We have one, I believe, that is a duet.
A duet. I already have the lyrics up for it because I'm so prepared.
Then you guess you start, but I'll finish.
I can start. It's called Modest by Jeff Hardy. And it goes like this. Modest to the top, modest at the top, straight to the top, and then keep heading on up. Stars shine for why. We should give a fuck about what is real and how real it is to us. The only way for us to feel the pain it sometimes deals in a way that survives.
The struggles we face in this life, there's a lot. Time can't erase, showcase the skills you were given at birth. Live your life here for what it's worth. Show off the style you perfect. In life, show off the way to make it right. Make it to the top of Mount Profession. Rule it. Till you feel there's nothing more for you to do or say. None of you better get in my way. Coming down. If you do, you'll be back on level ground. Malachi Black.
Just slid that right in there.
Just right at the end. Tom LaValle wants Dusty to sing Dude Love's theme. Okay. Dude Love theme lyric. I don't know if I know this one. I mean, I can make out the music, but I don't know any of the lyrics. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Oh, okay. Here we go. It's a Jim Johnston one, so you know it's good.
Let's go. Legend.
Come on. Come on. Will you allow me to see the lyrics? I don't
I
want to
can try and
follow
look.
at Genius.
Dude love.
Right? Okay, right? Oh, here we go. BLyrics.net. Why is this taking so long? BLyrics.net artist Jim Johnson lyrics, Dude Love, Dude's Shack. Here we go. Dusty, are you there? It's me, I'm here. Hold on, here we go. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, you count on his moves. He's the king of the cats. He's the man. Ah! Dude Love. His name is Dude Love. Yeah, yeah. He's the king of love. Yeah, his name is Dude Love. Yeah, yeah. He's the king. Yeah, you count on his moves. He's the king of the cats. He's the man. Ah? Dude Love, if you will. Ooh, his name is Dude Love. He's the king of love. Yeah, he's the king. His name is Dude Love. Thank you very much. Now, you know who seems to think he's the king of love is my son, who apparently thinks he's got a big swanger down between his legs. And that's the name why we call him Raheem. It's true. It's not true. They call you that because they're making fun of you. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair. SP3
That's all
spoke to that on our SmackDown post show.
I don't think that's why they call him that.
Yeah, I think you're correct about that.
All right. But I got to go back to the great beyond. Bye.
Okay, well, thanks for stopping by. We love you.
Hulk Hogan is still not up here, by the way.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Ricky?
Champion sings Ricky White Ring Grimmer sings Sunday Morning by K-OS. I don't know this one. I know Monday Morning. Is that by the Stones?
Do you know Sunday Morning by Maroon 5? Sunday morning, rain is falling.
I know every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed by what's that? Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray.
But I don't know that one.
See
Every day is Saturday night, but I can't wait for Sunday morning. Sunday morning. It's the same thing, back into cold. People know, people come and go. It bores me. Same thing. Seems like I'm trapped into a world where the servants, they serve time. Time waits on no man. So when people fall like me, I hee-hee-oh. Every day is Saturday night, but I can't wait for Sunday morning, Sunday morning. Every day is Saturday night, but I can't wait for Sunday morning, Sunday morning. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You're a legend.
Right, well.
I hope you get the Super Bowl halftime show next year.
Well, no, I don't want it.
You don't?
You get a lot of backlash from very mean people. You know, because I would do the entire show in Spanish, and they don't like it when you do that.
You would do the entire show in Spanish?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's awesome, but
I would just do Feliz Navidad on a loop.
Oh, okay. Okay. A classic Ricky Rainbow cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. Well, keep cool, gabagoos.
Toodles. Happy Valentine's Day, kind of.
Happy Valentine's Day, kind of.